I think it kind of goes without saying that losing your hair during cancer treatment is one of the hardest parts emotionally. And I know that that was true for me. So I want to share with you what I've done over the last 18 months or so to go from bald to bob. Kinda, basically. So I'm not going to get into my whole cancer journey story right here, right now, nor am I going to talk through the different hair phases that I had. I want this video to be strictly about the products that I used and the things that helped with hair regrowth specifically. I'll get into those things another time. What I will say really briefly is, hi, my name is Mick, in case you don't know me. Let me paint you a picture. The year is hot girl summer. I'm 25 years old. I'm engaged. I'm planning my wedding. I just bought my wedding gown. I'm blonde. I have abs for the first time in my life. Everything is going great. And then what happens? I got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. Hey! So that rocked my shit entirely. I made the decision to shave my head, and it's been roughly 18 months since then, and my hair has grown really fast. Once the chemo drugs have kind of worked their way out of the system, if you do the right things, your hair should grow back lickety-split. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about that. We're going to start off with the product that I think really jump-started the whole regrowth process. As soon as I was done with chemotherapy and I felt like my hair follicles had settled and weren't going anywhere, I started using the Acton Acre stem cell scalp serum. This was literally my holy grail product. I went through 2 bottles of it. It is very pricey. It's about $86 a bottle. But once I started using it, I instantly noticed my hair thicken, and I noticed the growth pick up the pace really significantly. I would highly, highly, highly recommend investing in it. And I would pair this with a nightly scalp massage, just like 5 minutes while you're winding down. Maybe you're waiting for your tea to boil. Maybe you're watching a little bit of Netflix. You just like really give your scalp like a nice once over massage. The next product that I feel really helped me with my hair regrowth is the Redken Extreme Strength shampoo, as well as the Extreme Length shampoo. I think there's 2 different ones. When I started using this, I felt like a goddamn chia pet. My hair started coming back so fast, and not only that, but it felt like strong again. When you do chemo, your hair becomes quite brittle. You get really nervous to, like, at least if you're me, like, touch any new hair growth, and it feels just very different from your natural hair or your original hair. And this stuff like made it lock in. And it helped it come back so fast. I tried other shampoos. These were the only shampoo and conditioner combos that I saw any actual change with. Highly recommend. Love Redken. They'll never do me dirty. What I'll add to that is every time I would shampoo my hair, I would use like a little silicone scalp massager. I would recommend only using that when you are totally done with chemo and you're feeling like your scalp is kind of returning to its baseline, because I at least had a really, really sore scalp when I was doing chemotherapy, and any like pressure on it, any rubbing, any like the points of the scalp massager would make my head like throb. So only do that when your head feels like it's back to a non-tender place. The next thing is you're gonna want to protect the shit out of your hair. As my hair was coming back and I returned to work, I really got into the silk scarf game. My favorite scarves are by Le Scarf. I got one in December when I was still going through chemo, and I'd wear it to chemo and feel very chic, very posh. And then the company actually sent me another one, and like I wore those, I swear, every day until I had a normal pixie cut again. And I still wear them all the time. They're super cute. They're super chic. I think it's a really great way to both protect your hair and then also just like feel cute during a time when you really don't feel cute at all. Big advocate for investing in a slip silk pillowcase. Again, I know that these are really pricey, but I got one, and the way that it helped soften my hair was remarkable. That sounds so like Okay. But it really was a huge change when I started using a silk pillowcase. If a silk pillowcase isn't accessible for you, I would say investing in a satin or silk bonnet to sleep in is also a really good move. One of the other things that I think really just like made my hair follicles say like, okay, it's go time. Let's fucking go, dude. Was I started taking the Thorne biotin supplements. This was approved by my oncologist. So please, if you were looking to start a biotin supplement, I would A, get your doctor's approval, and then B, ask for recommendations about the brand. When I started taking these, again, I felt like a chia pet. I felt like a little troll doll. Like the hair started to really hair again. So those are the products that I really relied on during my initial regrowth period. Once I had about a couple inches of hair, the hair was very coarse and it was very wavy. I have naturally curly hair, but I also have naturally really soft hair. And this was not at all like what I had dealt with before. It felt fried, like coming out of my head. And I was like, oh my God, I have to find a way to soften this. I have to find a way to take care of this. The products that I found the most helpful with that are the Amika hydrorush leave-in conditioner. Oh my God, that stuff was amazing. It took me a while to notice a difference, but after using it long enough, I started to see that it would like really soften and keep my hair hydrated and keep it from feeling as coarse as it would if I just let it air dry without any products. And then the real game changer products were Kerastase, I think that's how you say it, Magic Night Serum. Bruh, I don't know what they're putting in it, but after I began using this, it was like my hair returned to its baseline. And not even my baseline, it got like healthier. I started introducing this about a week before my wedding when I was like, I'm getting married in a week and I've got chia pet hair. Like I gotta figure something out. And I remember my stylist touching my hair the morning of the wedding and she was like, when did it get so soft? And I was like, that's how it happened, girl. Pairing that with their ultimate hydrating hair oil, also huge game changer. It helped bring some like life back to my hair and some shininess because my natural hair was also, when it was working through those first kind of like chemo grow out phases, it was very dull and very drab, and the elixir really helped bring a lot of life back to it. So it's about 18 months since all of that and I'm back to a bob. And if you're like, oh no, 18 months and that's all the growth she's got, do not fear. I have had about 4 trims since I started the regrowth process. For me, I didn't care as much about length as I did just looking like my haircut was intentional. There were some really tragic phases in there where I was like, I can't do this. I feel so chopped. I feel so like, so I have always, like from the get-go, opted for cutting it rather than having it grow out and be all mullety and all like, you know what I'm saying? And now that it's this long again, I am styling it with heat because, hey, like I said, it's really curly. And at this length, it looks a little silly. I've been loving using the JVN Complete Blowout Styling Milk. It's basically just like a leave-in conditioner, but it's also a heat protectant, and I felt like it's kept my hair very shiny. One other thing that I'm just doing to really make sure that I'm keeping my hair strong and healthy and keep it growing really fast is making sure that I'm eating enough protein. Girl, I feel like Rocky Balboa. I've been eating so many eggs this last year. A lot of spinach, a lot of chicken, a lot of sweet potatoes, things like that. I found that when my diet is rich with those foods, my hair not only seems to grow a little bit faster, but it's also just shinier and healthier, and I feel better about it. So it's like, why not? And those things are tasty, so it's kind of like a win-win. Like I said, I will be doing a video on the grow out kind of timeline eventually, and then also just doing a couple of videos probably in a series talking about the whole like from pre-diagnosis to now kind of cancer journey. If you are struggling with this, first of all, I'm sorry. That sucks. Nobody should have to go through this, but I know you can do this. Let me know where you're at in your journey. Maybe you don't have cancer. Maybe you didn't go through chemo. Maybe you're a new mom or you're going through a really stressful period in your life. We lose hair for so many reasons and it always sucks. Look at me. Look at me. You are beautiful. You are strong. Hair or no hair, you are hot and sexy, okay? I love you. Bye.